It's time for Agriculture, presented by Turkana Farms in Germantown, New York, a small-scale producer of heritage breed livestock and a wide array of vegetables and berries on just over 39 acres. They also produce a full array of garden vegetables, many of them heirloom varieties raised naturally, as well as an assortment of berries, including raspberries, blackberries, gooseberries, black, red, and white currants, mulberries, and elderberries. And now, here's Mark Scherzer.
If you live near here, you've been encased in ice for the last couple of days. A quarter inch of it or more wrapped around every surface, everything glimmering. There's a brittle beauty to the ice-encrusted landscape. The pasture is like paved with Baccarat. The blackberry patch lit with neon as the sun glints off the glassed-in canes. The branches of the wild plum trees are transformed into crackling wind chimes that break off if you brush too close beneath them. It will remain this way until the thermometer rises above freezing early next week. Enchanting? Sure, but also a royal pain in the ass. The ice is even more paralyzing than a deep winter snow. I generally start clearing driveways and walkways with my trusty snow shovel as soon as the storm stops. But this Arctic crust that formed is impervious. My shovel just glides along the top, ineffectually, as do I. Luckily, my friend Steve is here for a refresher course in farming before he takes charge and I decamp for a ski trip. And don't tell them I farm like a gay boy from the city this time, he warns me. It's homophobic. And though I do sometimes worry about his skills, it's a relief not to be contending with this mess on my own. In a farm landscape organized so carefully with a system of fences and gates, the ice wreaks havoc. The metal latches have all frozen shut. Door frames are locked into solid ground. The chicken yard gate is off its pintles. Chaos all around. Steve's help is needed at every step of chores. When even your simplest, most dependable stuff doesn't work, a chain of dark, entropic thoughts brews. What if the power goes out? Suppose I can't get the car started. How will I ever get the driveway operable? How do I manage all this and still get my office work done? And then, as things escalate, should an old man really choose the farm over city life? How long can I make enough money for this? Oh God, what about my taxes? Before you know it, I'm lost in visions of life in a refrigerator carton under a highway overpass. Hopefully, somewhere less icy. Steve, 20 years younger, struggles with a different set of demons. Is my grandmother safe in DeSantis' Florida, or will she catch COVID again? Is society falling apart? Are we descending into fascism? Do I have a future in this country? For both of us, deep down, the question is actually the same. Can I stay here? And if not here, where? Maybe we are just as entrapped as all these branches in their tight sheaths of ice, and in an equally brittle state, prone to just breaking off at the slightest touch. Consumed by our respective angst, we proceed to the last remaining chore, the sheep. Armed with boiling water, we defrost the metal gate latch and reach the barn. By then, we're both ready for disaster. But the very first sheep we spot is Sophie, possibly the loveliest girl in the flock, and usually the first to say hello most days. But we find her occupied instead today with licking birth fluids off her newborn, probably about 2 hours old when we find them. The lamb is a petite eweling with a larger version of Sophie's white cap and white stripes on her nose and ear as well, otherwise pure black. Adorable, we agree. Faced with this sweet girl, our troubles just melt away, though the ice still refuses. Eric, informed by phone, names her Clara. Please picture in your mind Sophie methodically licking every inch of her newborn as she gently nudges her to nurse. Little Clara sucks and wags her tail. The mom licks and utters little muttering noises, and thus they bond. It's pure zen. We, their human observers, realize there will always be anxieties and things will always go wrong. Yet there's a force of life that counteracts the spiral of disaster we imagine and fear. And yet, Ajita dies hard. The following morning, we find Clara has diarrhea. In an attempt to take her temperature, we puzzle at which orifice under her tail is actually her rectum. Well, this is officially gay farce, says Steve. Thankfully, my wonderful vet informs me, based on Clara's normal temperature and behavior, the problem should resolve within 48 hours. Simply too much rich colostrum ingested at birth. And indeed, by late afternoon, Clara seems fine. The farm is still encased in ice, but in good operating order nonetheless, and all anxieties are resolved. Until, that is, I read the front page of the New York Times. GOP declares January 6th attack legitimate political discourse. And we're back.
Agriculture is underwritten by Tricana Farms, LLC, a small-scale producer of heritage-bred livestock and a wide array of vegetables and berries on just over 39 acres in Germantown, New York. More information, 518-537-3815.